Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slades. How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing, my friends? It is officially July 3rd to be exact. We have a pretty stacked show for you guys, and it is also our first show of July, which is really, really cool. About 7 months into 2023, and we've had a really, really stellar year. Uh, we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation of a couple things. Weekly recap stuff, of course, and then we're gonna dive into some kind of interesting topics. Probably talk about social media for a second, and then really kind of dive into some reactions. And yeah. So this is episode 28. I'm your host, Tom Slays, and let's get right into it, my friends. So let me pull up some notes, and then we're gonna hop right into this thing. So like I said, I hope you're all well. I hope you're chilling. So man, this was a really rough weekend. The week was great. The weekend was definitely kind of rough in terms of social media and whatnot. But we'll be talking about that relatively soon. So with that said, let's hop right into it, my friends. So episode 127 is available on all platforms. It is available on YouTube, all audio platforms as well, and it's pretty much available wherever you can stream podcasts, my friends. So if you missed episode 127, if you want to go back and watch it, things like that, feel free to go and run that up. And again, huge shout out to everybody that shows us love on audio platforms and takes us on the road. Thank you, my friends. So again, huge shout out to everybody that submitted and came through. Episode 127 is available on all platforms as we speak. A very interesting YouTube upload is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel right now. Last week we had a segment kind of detailing good playlists versus bad playlists, and really how you can tell the difference between the two, and really try to protect yourself from things like that. So definitely go check that out if you missed it, and if you already ran that up, huge shout out to you guys. You guys are amazing. And of course, we are at 184 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so definitely go subscribe if you haven't already. We are 6 subs away from the big 190. So that's all. That's just amazing. 190 is like a really awesome goal, considering the channel's only been pushed like pretty much for the entirety of 2023, because like 2022 it wasn't even around for a full year. So once we hit 200, that'll definitely be really cool to see. But with that said, huge shout out to all you guys that are already subscribed to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. You guys are amazing. Thank you. So yeah, definitely go check out our playlist video. That one is definitely a really good watch. That'll take us to just about Friday. So we dropped a brand new article on musicmondays.com. That one is written by Sage. The Feeling So Right was a single that came out of Australia by an artist with the name Benji. And Sage really dug deep for this one. Some super unheard of, super underground, really talented artists. So definitely go check that one out if you missed it. And huge shout out to Sage for getting really like wonderful pieces in. Like, Sage has done nothing but go absolutely crazy, man. Like, go absolutely fucking crazy. So huge shout out to Sage, and definitely go check that piece out if you didn't get the chance yet. So this next one is actually really awesome. So Feature Friday episode 5 is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. I sat down with Jordan Andrew, aka SLM. The majority of you guys know SLM from the show, their consistent submissions, their crazy ass 2023 Deadlighters, Make More Creative Junk. That one is definitely one of my favorite Feature Fridays so far, for a couple of reasons, but just because our conversation was so cool. I think those are some of my favorite interviews, is actually sitting down with an artist that hasn't really had the chance to like get their word and story out there. You know what I mean? Especially with somebody as talented as SLM and aka Jordan Andrew. Yeah, man, it's definitely one of my favorites to do. So definitely go check out Feature Friday episode 5, and huge shout out to Jordan, aka SLM, Deadlighters, and Make More Creative Junk. Mark, what's good? I hope you're well. Sage Goated, love that Aussie. Yeah, you know what? Every single fucking Australian I've ever met has been a goat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, that's a strong statement too, but motherfuckers are different. They are very much cut differently. So, Feature Friday episode 5. Yeah, definitely go check that out and go show Jordan some love as well. So we dropped 2 articles over the weekend, and we dropped a second article on Sunday that was originally supposed to drop on Friday, or no, I'm sorry, on Saturday, but we had a little bit of a social media hiccup that we'll be talking about here on the show for sure. But this one is actually pretty major. So, Ray Lowe, our Music Monday staff writer and very talented producer, got the chance to sit down with Gum MP3, and they had a really detailed conversation about so many things: early projects, latest projects, climate change, lifestyles, their early life, politics, so much stuff that they discussed, man. So definitely go check out the Gum MP3 interview, man. And again, huge shout out to Ray, a very fucking talented writer that you'll be seeing a lot more of here. Not only around Music Mondays, but just in general. So go show Ray and Gum some love. 2 brand new articles out on the website right now. So, again, huge shout out to the Music Monday staff team. Couple things to do with them that I'll be speaking on later as well. But, that takes us all the way to Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday, volume 89 is available on our SoundCloud right now. That is a fucking stacked playlist. I think this week we put about 30 tracks. We usually won't do any more than 30, but it'll probably like fluctuates between like 20 to like 30, like give or take on how many submissions and how much people actually put out that week. I mean, because no matter how much music like people actually put out, there's only so much that we can actually put on our playlists. So some weeks there'll be like 5 or 10 less, but for the most part we try to keep it at like the 20, 30 threshold. But with that said, volume 89 is available right now on our SoundCloud with art by 63, and that was curated by myself, Depressed, and Waterfalls. And again, huge shout out to all you guys that are showing love to SoundCloud Sunday, man. That is a playlist that has been getting a lot of love recently. Whether it's because I talk about it on the show constantly, whether it's the fact that we've been going crazy on art, or it just gets a lot of love. Huge shout out to the community and all of you guys, because that playlist is for you, realistically. You know, we want to archive all of these songs in a certain way as to where that's why we do a new playlist every week rather than kind of like switch out tracks. I've always thought doing playlists like that was kind of whack. Like, even when we go to Spotify, we'll probably figure out a way to consistently like post different playlists rather than kind of like change tracks out, because I've always found that kind of like redundant, you know what I mean? But playlisting's a bit different on Spotify, but regardless, SoundCloud Sunday is definitely the pretty much premier playlist that you can get any SoundCloud track on. I mean, you know, people will kind of do them every once in a while, but yeah, no, there really isn't much out there, and SoundCloud Sunday definitely took over as far as like the premier playlist, definitely. So huge shout out to the community, and huge shout out to the Music Money staff team for always kind of, you know, bringing in some tracks, right? Because huge shout out to our curators, like Depress and Waterfalls are real pillars for Music Mondays, man. Like, if I'm being like completely honest with you, curating is a huge part of what we do. Whether we're curating for interviews, we're curating for content, we're curating for playlists. It's a very big part of what we do. So, huge shout out to the staff, man. Love them. So, that takes us to Monday. Here we are live, June 3rd. Tomorrow's the 4th of July. If you're watching this show live, like I said, it's June 3rd. Or July 3rd, I'm sorry. Jesus fucking Christ. But if you're not watching this show live and you're watching on YouTube, July 4th has already passed. So I hope you had a good 4th of July. So, before we get into a little bit of a discussion, couple things that are upcoming for Music Mondays in the new month. Just a few things I want to touch base on. So, the usuals recruiting is open as well. You'll see us post a recruiting flyer this week, out on our socials. So if you're a journalist, writer, curator, designer, a person who wants to do short form or long form content, you're just a passionate person who's in the underground, you just care about the scene, you really think you have something to contribute to Music Mondays, definitely hit us with your resume or a DM, and we'll be happy to have a conversation with you. And of course, Music Mondays is very early in monetization, right? 100% of our revenue goes right back into Music Mondays. Um, so when you're joining the staff, you're very much joining a crew of like 12 people that greatly care about the scene in the underground. So if you feel like you can't keep up with that, this definitely isn't the place for you. But if you feel like you can take on a slight role and you're like, yo, I want to contribute to the new underground, that'd be great. So definitely send us a pitch or a resume. Um, in our DM, in our email, you can reach out to me. We're pretty open as far as that goes. So definitely hit us up if you're interested in that as well. Music Mondays exclusives are also open, so we are searching for SoundCloud and YouTube exclusives. If you want to get an unreleased track hosted on our SoundCloud, again, hit us up in the email or the DM. We'll be happy to get stuff working for you. That'll be free of charge as well. We don't charge for anything, but that we definitely don't charge for. We just want to host your SoundCloud tracks, and you're free to do whatever you want with the rest of the stores as well. If you want to get a visual or music video hosted on Music Mondays, that's also free of charge as well. So definitely hit us up if you're interested in that. And of course, fully promoted on all of our socials and things like that. We're just looking to build our library and really build an archive. So again, if that's something you're interested in, definitely reach out to us. Send us a pitch or an idea. So those two things out the way. Those are pretty much kind of always standard, right? But we are in a new month. So again, Feature Friday is live now. Me and the staff are going to be working on booking another episode of Feature Friday, another episode of Workshop Wednesday. We have a couple ideas for behind the merch. The breakdown will be returning. So there's a couple of smaller ideas that I have worked out with the staff, and then of course a lot of the bigger project that we're working on. Cyberfest 2 is coming up as well. Not a lot of details I can really give on that right now, but as far as that goes, that's definitely one major thing on the back burner for Music Mondays. And then realistically, as soon as we iron out the rest of this month, I'll have a clear vision of really like how we're going to approach our extra content. But our weekly and monthly schedule will continue to be the same. Expect YouTube uploads, expect articles, expect playlists, expect all the usual stuff. But I'm also trying to constantly improve our platform as well. So keep your eyes peeled for new stuff. But other than that, in case you missed it monthly, the May and June edition will be coming out super, super fucking soon. We'll have Aster back on graphics for May as well, which will be awesome. So huge shout out to Aster. But definitely keep your eyes peeled for those as well. Our biggest written and graphical pieces, essentially. So outside of that, that's where we're at in the beginning of June. Lots of really good stuff. And of course, the Music Mondays Patreon will be getting a slight makeover as well. Patreon added some new features. So I'm really excited about that, and all of our Patreons are about to get a nice little hookup for sure. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for those details as well. And huge shout out to all of our Patreon members as well. You guys are amazing. And as soon as we're in like a decent enough spot with all of our Patreon revenue, all the patrons subscribed for that month will be you'll be taken care of as far as our first merch line goes and things like that. So again, a couple things kind of up in the air, but as soon as we know, you guys will know. And then yeah, just a lot of stuff that I'm really excited just share with the community, to be honest with you. But of course I want to do it right, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to sit here and fucking just kind of half-ass anything, especially with where Music Mondays is at right now. So that's definitely not something I want to do. And again, co-hosts on the show and things like that, those are going to be worked out pretty frequently. I'll have somebody join me here on the show, and we'll just rotate co-hosts. So whoever wants to join me on the show, we'll be doing that as well. Of course, I'll still be the main host, but I definitely want a co-host here. Somebody to just bounce opinions, words off of, things like that. So that'll be something that kind of just moves its way into the majority of our content, right? So that'll be coming. I'm game. Yeah, see, like there's a couple of things that we gotta work out for sure. But yeah, that's definitely gonna be happening for sure. But that's pretty much what early June is, or July is looking like. Tomorrow's the 4th, so content will resume as scheduled. But expect announcements following the 4th, and then we'll be able to kind of feed you guys slowly a lot of the stuff that we have on the back burner as well. So keep your eyes peeled. Let's fucking get it, baby. So, one thing I wanted to really dive into here this week, because something fucking insane happened over the weekend, and everybody had a fucking meltdown in the underground and creative communities. And I'll keep addressing this for as long as I have to, man. So for those of you that know what I'm about to say, strap in. For those of you that don't, we're going to be talking about Twitter and for the greater good, social media in general right now. So where the fuck do you even begin? I mean, I don't really have to rehash a lot of the same subjects because we've really talked about this a couple times here on the show. So if you're interested in more detailed rants, definitely go check out our channel. A lot of our tips and tricks videos and a lot of our guides and a lot of our things like that have a lot more detailed rants, but I'm going to talk about strictly what happened over the weekend today and how artists and creatives and people even outside the underground space kind of react to things like this. So, it's no secret, right, that Twitter has become a rocky road over the last like year or so. And that's to really nobody's surprise. And again, Music Mondays is not a politically oriented blog. I'm not a political kind of person. So, I don't really care what your opinions are on a lot of the like topics that people talk about, right? What I care about is providing a good environment for underground creativity to thrive, right? And that includes equality, safety, really just kind of having a nice platform for people to enjoy. And when it comes to Music Mondays and utilizing a lot of social media's tools, like I said in a post that that we put up over the weekend, there's a reason why we are available on all social media platforms. You know, any one of these platforms could really take a dump at any time, right? Like we could wake up tomorrow and YouTube could like plop a fucking storage model on us and you're only allowed to upload X amount of videos unless you subscribe to YouTube Red. Like that could ruin a lot of fucking people. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like other socials and things like that, there's a lot of like these weird like political personal kind of like and very rightfully so like crazy ass opinions about a lot of this shit. And all I'm really concerned with is the tools that a lot of these offer us, right? Because many of you know, outside of Music Mondays, I have a whole roster of artists that I take care of, right? So when it comes to things outside of the staff, so Music Mondays has about 12 people on the staff team, and I manage 2 brands and 3 artists myself. So when it comes to social media and being a digital media manager, and digital media meaning things across not just socials, but you're talking YouTube, you're talking short form and long form content, you're talking Rick, like there's just so much shit that is involved with that. So when one of these platforms kind of shits out, it's our job to really pay attention to the algorithms, the updates, where stocks are going, where certain things are headed, right? So with that said, when Twitter or Instagram or any other platform kind of has like a hiccup and shit goes wrong, right? Whether, it's Elon kind of like making weird fucking policies and doing dumb shit with the app, or it's Meta fucking destroying Instagram algorithms and running that into the ground. Whether it be them stealing and selling your data on fucking TikTok. Like there are a lot of like again hiccups for the lack of a better term, right? It's a rocky road right now for a lot of this social media stuff. So again, it's been my job to kind of understand where a lot of this is going. And it fucking blows my mind the amount of people that get on the internet and say, "Oh, I'm going to leave Twitter and then 6 months later say the same thing. Oh, I'm going to leave Instagram. I'm going to leave Twitter. I'm going to do this. Like, if there was a place to go, you'd be there. You know what I mean? Like, that's not even talking about the fact that you wouldn't even know what to do if you had to grow a new account, if somebody paid you, right? But when it comes to, okay, I'm leaving, where? Where? Where the fuck are you going? Because when it comes to an Instagram alternative, a Twitter alternative, there are none. Like, big fat newsflash, if there was a place to go, people would fucking be there. You know what I mean? And all the people that quit social media, um, didn't really have any presence there to begin with, so it wasn't really a loss to them. But a lot of these people that stay and like don't really pay attention to the ruckus actually have a following and actually have people to take care of and actually have a support base. So when you go around and say that you're just gonna like you're gonna leave or you're gonna deactivate or you're gonna do this and this, like that doesn't affect anybody or anything. You know what I mean? Like if you want to go, that's like saying like is who cares? You know what I mean? Who like respectfully, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Because until you see people with large platforms, right? Large platforms, gamers, content creators, streamers, um, esports players, literally any media personality, right? And I'm not even talking politics. Fuck all that weird shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the real fucking creators. Until you see them up and leave and say, "Hey, go follow me over here," there's nowhere to go. There's genuinely nowhere to go. Like that that's kind of like what people aren't understanding about this is again, whether it's a Twitter alternative, whether it's an Instagram alternative, none of them that anybody suggests right now are in a place to thrive for a new or established independent artist, right? Because it's either A, if you're a new person, there's no population to fucking support you. So go ahead and jump over to Blue Sky right now. I have a Blue Sky account. And you want to know what? It's a fucking wasteland. It is a fucking wasteland. So if you expect to go over there and be a new creator and start growing your account and getting, your feet wet over there, like being early is not a bad thing. But when you're doing all that, you're taking the hit. You're being the guinea pig. You are the beta tester, right? Go and let the regulars do all that shit. Go and let the people that tweet about their their regular daily lives. They're like, oh my god, like I just got out of school right now and I'm watching YouTube and I'm gonna go play Fortnite. Tweet. Like, go let those people fucking do that shit, bro. Because those people don't give a fuck whether this platform sinks and this one does this and this one does that. Like, if you're an artist and creative out here, sit tight, right? Like, just sit fucking tight, bro. Because once there is a place for us to go, you'll know. Because believe me, like, I have to pack up and fucking move a lot of shit. So there's a reason why, like, you won't see a lot of major creators commit to anything, right? Um, it's kind of wild because like people just want to like be involved and rightfully so, right? Like everybody can like kind of have an opinion on things and I don't think that's an issue, right? I don't. I think the issue lies as to where people think that like it's not important to have certain social media aspects and certain social media platforms. Because at the end of the day, regardless of whether you fuck with Elon Musk or this and that, Twitter was and has been one of the greatest platforms to grow communities long before Elon Musk was ever fucking touching it. Because again, I've been on the platform since 2013. Like, you can go look at my account right now. Like, nah, bro. Like, the platform has always had its hiccups, but what people are trying to like make it out to be right now and kind of like let Instagram and TikTok like go under the rug, like a lot of these platforms be doing shady ass fucking shit, except they won't tell you about it. And they'll just kind of sneak algorithms under the rug and kill accounts and wrongfully ban people and this and that. You're going to get the same bark for the bite on all of these social media. All of them. Like, take it from somebody who runs over 20 accounts. Seriously, all of them. So stop wigging out about fucking one platform or the other. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the people that prefer one platform or the other, because I think that's fine too. You know, some people like Instagram, some people like Twitter, some people like fucking TikTok, some people like them all. That's fine. But when you're going to single out a platform and act like it doesn't have weight to it, you're fucking delusional, right? You are delusional. Because like I said, like if you know a lot of these platforms kind of randomly go under, um, you're not going to guarantee that a lot of these people end up in the same spot. Like, that's what's fucked up about it. Like, some people are going to go here, some people are going to go there, because there's no, like, definitive place to move yet. So, again, you know, we'll always be available on Twitter and we'll always be available on all socials. But as far as, like, an easily accessible platform that you can engage with people, you know what I mean? Like, Instagram's not good for engagement, right? Like, comments, that's not a good way to engage. DMs, that's not a good way to engage. So this thread kind of approach that Twitter has always had for since what 2009 to whenever the fuck it was made. That approach is the key to like personal one-on-one engagement. And that's why people felt so compelled with Twitter. It was always like a very personal kind of platform. It always was. You could tweet celebrities and actually get a reply. You know what I mean? But you're not going to go comment on a celebrity's Instagram post. They might not even ever fucking look at your shit. You know what I mean? You'll be lucky if you don't get banned for being a bot. So, you know, you had to be there for quite a while to understand like the moves that Twitter has made over the years and where it is now is really sad for a lot of us to see, but you can't lose faith in it because like it'll regain, and especially with like a lot of the advancements that AI and platforms are making, like a lot of these new platforms won't fucking make it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them won't fucking make it. And Twitter has just enough pull still as to where they'll be all right probably. You know what I mean? They'll be all right. Just because of the name. Kind of like how Call of Duty and other video game titles you love are dog shit now. Well, same thing. There's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a fucking reason why. So just put that logic behind it, you know? So with that said, you know, just keep your head up. Don't make any hasty moves. Always expand, always try new shit. But don't write off shit immediately as to where you don't know kind of what's going to happen in terms of socials and things like that, because again, like you're like ultimately like you might get like a decent amount of traction and love in real life, you know, whether you go perform shows or this or that, but you're never going to be able to reach people in the UK or Russia, or you're never going to reach people in fucking France, or you're never going to reach people in, you know, halfway across the United States. That's where the internet comes into play. So like IRL has like such a great useful aspect in in the terms of like, you know, one-on-one in-person relationships. But social media makes it really fucking easy for you to get your message out there to like a wider audience. So that's why you need both. One doesn't really like come before the other. You know what I mean? Like you really need both. Because once you get to like a big enough point, it doesn't really matter. But right now, you know, as like a new artist trying to break through, that's what you need. You know what I mean? You need both. So don't be so quick to write a lot of this shit off. You know what I mean? And that's definitely my one bit of advice for anybody who was kind of in limbo about that and was like, damn, like what the fuck do I do? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely rough if like you don't know the up and up, right? But yeah, I would definitely keep your eyes peeled, and of course, you can entrust to Music Mondays to keep you posted on all the latest social media news, where you know big creators are going and things like that. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Definitely drop a comment if you guys are like, yo, I disagree, or you're like, yo, you're fucking spitting. Um, So yeah, just let us know what you think, man. So yeah, that's that on that, my friends. Let's fucking get it, Mark. Music Mondays Forever is fucking right. Everybody was having like a brain aneurysm over the weekend. They were like, "Oh my god, they're fucking tweaking out." They were literally tweaking out. I was losing IQ points. I really was. Like, oh my god, bro. Fuck is wrong with this fucking? The fuck is wrong with everybody, bro? Like, damn, bud, relax. You ain't never seen a bug? Oh shit, man. So, you guys know what's good. You guys know what the fuck is good. But if you don't, it's time for some reactions and reviews. We got a decent amount. But we definitely need more. So tomorrow when we open up submissions, definitely retweet this shit. Definitely get the word out there. Let's fucking go. So, how do I submit to the Music Mondays podcast? How do I get my art on your show? Why do you collect submissions on Twitter? How do I do this? When do submissions open? Questions like that. Let's dive in. So, tweets will be in the same format each week on our Twitter. And they'll always read artists and creatives submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on July 3rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/ZomPlays, which is here and now. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. For our show limit, must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible, and the Music Mondays Patreons get their submissions played first week. So, kind of a handful there, but let's dive in and let's talk about it. So, um, of course, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to all sorts of art. Everything from vocals to instrumentals to digital art to fashion, visuals, written pieces, YouTube blogs, you name it, we have literally reacted to it. So if you're an underground independent artist or creative and you feel like you deserve the spotlight on Music Mondays, feel free to drop your links or portfolios, man. We'll be happy to react to your content here on the show. For our show limit, of course, due to the nature of how many submissions we can get, the show can get very long, and we are a weekly show. So again, just to not put too much pressure on the staff and really make the show palatable to watch, we do have a 4-hour show limit. And of course, we don't charge for submissions. We never have. We never will. But the only thing we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit. To not only grow our community, but to help spread our message and our word, and to give respect to everybody that is already following Music Mondays on our Twitter account. Patreon subscribers submissions played first each week. So if you're a monthly subscriber to our Patreon, either $5, $10, or $20, you're eligible for the Music Mondays Fast Pass. So for the whole entire month, you'll be able to get your submissions played first here on the show each week, which in turn you'll be played during the beginning of the show. You'll be located at the beginning of the episode upload. So it's pretty good if you're interested in just getting your submissions played super fast and you really want your submissions played first. And you're pretty much guaranteed to have your submissions played as well. So definitely go check out our Patreon. Huge shout out to all the Music Mondays Patreons. You guys are wonderful. Let's get it, baby. So that's just about it. Submissions open every Tuesday. So if you're interested in submitting for episode 129, submissions will open tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well. And again, submissions close just about an hour or so before the show, just to get really, kind of acquainted, kind of have like a quick head count and things like that. And of course, we close submissions because we are a live show. So we like to keep things free flow, so nobody kind of has like a rogue submission and they're like, "Yo, can I submit?" And then they cut the line and messes up the order, things like that. So that's why we don't take submissions after they close. So again, you have roughly about 7 days to submit your tracks. And that's pretty much that. Those are the finer details. Of course, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments as well of any of our Music Mondays YouTube uploads. Of course, definitely. So, per usual, we'll be going through our Patrons first this week. And then, we'll be diving into the rest of the community's submissions. So, all right. So, first for our Patreons, we have Blank Thought, and then up next we'll have SLM and King Mark. So we got 3 Patreons, and then the rest of the community submissions we'll dive into as well. So, I'm down. First, this week, we got the homie, Blank Thought, Music Monday staff member. Very talented writer, very, very talented producer. Has a crazy good output, but they submitted a track titled Mindful of the Mindless. Okay, and we got this one with the homie Zim and Backwood Brad. Alright, so this is a good duo here. We've definitely heard plenty of tracks with Zim and Backwood Brad. So I'm definitely excited for this one. Yeah, this is gonna be sick. This is definitely gonna be sick. Okay, so let's get into it. Blank Thought, Mindful of the Mindless. The fuck? Pause. Let me restart this. Why does Spotify always want to update their UI in the ugliest fucking ways, bro? Like, am I the only one that thinks this just looks like shit? Like, I don't know if the installed app is much better because I don't listen to a lot of music on Spotify. It's mostly SoundCloud and YouTube. But holy hell, bro. They make the ugliest UI updates ever. But let's continue. Blank Thought, Mindful of the Mindless. This beat is really hard. I like the drums on this.
To figure it out, I got a long road ahead of me, the difficult route. I got a boatload of lyrics flowing out of my mouth, but that's my therapy, love and soul dripping with doubt. I got so much going on, man, I can't even fathom. I can't afford to leave the crib, I'm throwing a tantrum. And listening to Solus, cause you know it's my anthem. And nobody noticed me, it's like I'm a phantom, yeah. Now I'm knowing everything I need to. Fuckers looking at me like I'm motherfucking see-through. And you should see me as an equal. Been lethal since a child while I'm chilling in the fetal. I've been working harder than any person in front of me, reflecting on my past and how I used to be a wannabe. Now bitches wanna be me, and I don't blame them. Who the fuck's better than Zim? I couldn't name them.
Patient and quiet, I am truthful and honest. Sharing space with you liars, mindful of the mindless.
Sheesh.
They blindfolded the guidance. When that little voice start talking, you follow your conscience. Oh. I've been looking back too long. I knew that pain would come and go, but why this last so long? My lungs full of potholes, I took the back roads home. What if tomorrow was your last word spoken? These episodes, they toying with my emotions. I'm a Hasbro clone. My phone sees it all. Am I being tracked by a drone? Act like you know, but so detached from it all. Attacked in a blog, my ego at times, it leaves me with an Astrodome. I ain't asked them no, like I asked before. They got the last one wrong. Since the last time I asked for help, I ain't come back no more. Only sign the dotted line, don't autograph no more. They see what you lack, they don't see Brad no more. Treat me like a cowboy, I ain't even Dax on boy. Dodging that government envoy, bon voyage.
What the fuck?
Patient and quiet, I am truthful and honest. Sharing space with you liars, mindful of the mindless. They blindfolded the guidance. When that little voice start talking, you follow your conscience. Look.
I'm obsessed with this beat. Bro, there's a lot I like about this. This might be my favorite Blank Thought submission in quite a fucking while. So a couple things about this. Ah, no, I can't spoil it. I can't spoil it. All right, nah, we're just gonna hop right in. We absolutely have to break this down. Not even a question. Um, so we're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental. Talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Mindful of the Mindless. So instrumental. I'm like really tied on a couple things. So first things first, the mix is great. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Again, kind of not really a no surprise there. With the Blank Thought track, Blank Thought always has a really solid mix, especially when it comes to like um, big collab tracks like this and whatnot. I definitely think that Blank Thought has always had a really like tight, well rounded mix. Um, man, so outside of the mix being super crisp, I knew I was gonna have a hard time because like I'm a big fan of this kind of like ambient, like just interesting route that Blank Thought took when it comes to this melody. But the drums have such a bounce and like such a flavor to them that it's hard to ignore. More specifically, like the sound selection itself for the drums was like, wow. It gave that like real modern hip hop feel. Like it felt kind of classical, but it was like really like very much modern. So I was pretty torn on this one, man. I was pretty torn on this one, I'm not gonna lie. The melody definitely like uh it like it like definitely like sat with me more, but like the drums definitely just kept up like the darkness and a little bit of the groove. So I'm gonna go ahead and say the drums are definitely a shining star. I just like the drum selection as well. I think Blank Thought definitely killed this for sure. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums, 100%. Let's talk. Um, let's talk vocals. So mix is great. Again, nothing clashing too overbearing. I mean, we have Zim and Brad on this, so no complaints at all. I have no gripes with this vocal mix whatsoever. I think they both sound raw, but in a really good way. I think they sound clean. Not too raw at all. I definitely think it's at just the right spot to like keep the emotion in, but it definitely like keeps it clean. So vocal mix definitely solid for sure. Um, I love both their verses. Like I definitely think their flows and cadence are like top notch. But the thing here is like the writing was really fucking crazy from both of them. Like they had some punchlines where I was like I had to like take like a double take. So for sure writing for both of them. Both of them absolutely wrote their ass off for this. This is a great showcase of lyricism, 100%. Not even a question. Actually like this duo a lot too. I feel like their voices blend well together. Not that their voices are crazy, but I feel like they just have interesting voices that just mesh really well. So I like this as a duo for sure. Definitely. So, um instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocals are great. Definitely the fucking writing. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics. This is from a project titled Movies at Midnight. This is actually the deluxe version. And this might be one of the hardest covers in relation to the title. Do I think this is album worthy? 100%. It's theatrical enough, it's HD enough. It has that album feel to it for sure. I think the only thing that could have made this slightly better is maybe like a parental advisory sticker on it. But other than that, like I think this is perfect. Like I definitely think they all hit the nail on the head when it comes to this. Blake Dot has always had a really good knack when it comes to like all their cover arts, even if they don't like directly relate to the release exactly. Blake Dot does a really good job when it comes to um just picking not only like aesthetically pleasing covers, but covers that make you kind of like think about how it relates to the track, you know? So this one definitely nailed it for me. Um Overall theme, mindful of the mindless. I mean, this is a line that I think Brad had in his verse. So I definitely think it's like a good wordplay kind of title. And just the phrase in itself is kind of like, kind of makes you think, if you will, right? Um, so it's definitely like a solid title, but when it comes to like the track itself, Mindful of the Mindless, it definitely has that like again like ambient kind of like almost somber feel to it, especially with like um Zim's vocals. Man, yeah, no, this definitely felt very somber. It did. It just had this like rainy day kind of like made you think kind of track, and then especially referring back to the project art, it kind of just goes hand in hand. So I definitely think they nailed it when it comes to the overall theme. Um, and sometimes a theme doesn't really need to have like a meaning, as long as it feels right and you kind of like get the vision. I definitely think a theme can be stellar, and that's totally what we have here in terms of just this single. But there's probably no, there's 100% like so many songs we haven't actually gotten the chance to react to off this project. So I definitely can't wait to react to more. So with that said, huge shout out to a Blank Thought. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Blank Thought on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Blank Thought on Twitter. Blank Thought is approaching literally 960. 9 away on the bird app, man. Go show Blank Thought some love over there. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 Subarunis on the main channel. I think we're about 6 away. So definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Go show the main channel some love. And if you already have been showing the main channel some love, we appreciate you here at Music Mondays. And thank you, my friends. Thank you. Yeah, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So definitely go check out the channel and show these artists some love. So, let's continue on, my friend. That was our first Patreon of the night. But up next, we got the homie Jordan Andrew, aka SLM. Jordan Andrew is SLM's new stage name. So they'll be slowly transitioning into Jordan Andrew as they go along and really kind of start to put out more projects and whatnot. But they'll be still working with Deadlighters and things like that. So for those of you that know SLM, that's what's up. If you want more details on that as well, definitely go check out episode 5 of Feature Friday that we just dropped. I had a wonderful conversation with Jordan. So definitely go check that out. But a very talented vocalist, alternative hip-hop producer, submitted a track titled Starting Now. Okay. Now, I don't know if this is going to be an instrumental or it's going to be vocals or it's going to be unreleased or what. Okay. Starting Now, but not starting over. Prod Jordan Andrew. Painting on cover by Michael. MakeMoreCreativeDrunk.com. Damn. Yeah, Michael's such a talented fucking artist, bro. Holy shit. Oh my god. Alright, let's get into it. Jordan Andrew, Starting Now. Let's go.
Starting now, not starting over. The nights are hard to count, the morning's coming closer. About time I saw the sun, the storming's over. Yeah, starting now, but not starting over. The nights are hard to count, the morning's coming closer. About time I saw the sun, now the storming's over. I just like the way it sounds, cheers to the composer, or to the creator. Good God, about time I thought about the time and stopped acting like a hater. I'm just trying to make it, yeah, starting now, but it's not starting over because I didn't waste it waiting around. It's time I located a mirror and faced it. It's hard to, I can't decide what's important, but this is part 2. Lost my grip, lost a handle. I don't know what I can't do. When I get it, I'll have a portion to hand you. I don't know, I don't think I know you. Hi, I'm Jordan Andrew. With all that we go through, there's nothing we can't do. You heard I needed this, I bleed in this. I can't survive on ideas alone. How the voices treating you, they should take it outside or leave me alone. I can't lose or stop now, so what I need to do is put down the phone. I can't answer a call, I can't see who I'm speaking to. The walls around me have grown over time, I think it's fine, I need them to. Didn't like what I saw, I feel these songs deep in my bones, or not at all. I'm helplessly exposed, cover blown. If this helps, I change my clothes, go unknown. After all, so I have shit I don't care about in large amounts. Make it hard to count. Starting to assume that this changes for the better. Just starting phasing when stars like moons, ours felt closer than it was new with no warning. I would like to assume that this changes for the better. We're just phasing whatever. I'm just trying to make it so I have shit I don't care about in large amounts. Make it hard to count. The morning's coming closer. Starting now, not starting over. The nights are hard to count. The morning's coming closer. About time I saw the sun, the storming's over.
I like the long outro. I think the long outro is the move. I like that a lot. Wow. So that was a really special song in terms of like it just feels like Jordan is on like a new leaf, right? Like SLM is kind of just like in the past. Like this feels refreshing and this feels like it's going to be an insane journey. Like I'm definitely excited to see like where this goes as a project, where Jordan decides to go as a producer, and yeah, much to discuss. Much to really find out as well. I mean, realistically, like holy shit. Um yeah, let's break this one down. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme. Starting now. So, man, oh man, oh man. Let's talk instrumental. So mix is great, of course, of course. I mean, it's SLM, it's Jordan Andrews, Dead Lighters. All of those artists are very locked in when it comes to their mix. You can always expect a really, really solid mix when it comes to any of this crew, but especially Jordan. Nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing kind of just too much. The mix is in a really solid spot when it comes to the instrumental, for sure. Especially with the piano and kind of like the ambient background and the drums, like everything definitely like really complements each other, especially down to the sound selection too. For being completely honest with you. So, Shining Star. Definitely the piano. I mean, I love the drums. The drums were just a slow kind of like you're just vibing with those drums. Like they're not meant to be crazy. So I think the thing that struck me the most as like a first time listener definitely was the melodies and more specifically the piano for sure. So definitely the piano is the shining star. Um, hmm. So um, so instrumental solid, definitely the piano. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals here, man, oh man, oh man. Something about these vocals felt the most refreshing, and I don't think Jordan really did anything too different than the usual. Probably it was just the delivery and the instrumental combined that kind of like struck me in a different way. But when it comes to vocals here, I definitely feel like this mix was on fucking point. I love like the slight touches and it just feels very personal. So the vocal mix was on point, like absolutely on point. Sits on the instrumental well. Again, nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Jordan did a really good job when it comes to this mix, for sure. So there's a couple of things I really enjoyed about this when it comes to The Shining Star. I love the writing. The writing definitely put me in that direction of like, this is a fresh start. This is something new. This is very much like, okay, like here we are. But the delivery was a close second. And um the flow and cadence right behind it was like, it was serious, but it wasn't like too serious. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm kind of torn between everything. I like the whole mix of this song, to be honest. Um, Probably the writing. To be honest with you, I think Jordan's like such a good writer, but like I suppose like it's easier to write music and almost harder to deliver it properly. But I think Jordan really has that like on lock when it comes down to this. Um, but writing kind of like was the thing that made me feel like this is brand new, and um Jordan is kind of like really like turning over like a new leaf. So for that reason, I'm definitely gonna have to say writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the motherfucking writing. Um, Theme. So I think this theme is fucking great, but Michael is even just crazier when it comes to the art too. So aesthetically, this might be one of the more detailed pieces that we've seen. You know, Michael and Jordan kind of like make up with each other, but it definitely has that like refreshing kind of feel. It definitely feels more raw than the usual covers, but at the same time it feels more of what we're used to, but it was just like a little bit more like, it was very much refreshing in a way. I don't know if it's like the white background. Like it very well could be the white background that makes me think it's refreshing. You know what I mean? I have this painting by Mike on my wall above my desk. See, that's hard as fuck. That is hard. That is really, really hard. This one is definitely like hang up in the crib worthy for sure. I mean, all of them are, but this one you could see why. You could definitely see why. Um so yeah, aesthetics on point. I mean, I love this kind of this kind of direction, especially for something so refreshing. But uh overall theme, I think it's a very like easy theme, but it's a very much like deeper kind of theme. Because starting now, you know what I mean? It kind of says it in the description, starting now but not starting over. So it's kind of like Jordan really like coming into like a new, it's like deeper than a stage name. It's like redirecting your art. You know what I mean? It's like redirecting yourself. So I think this song was just deep enough to like get people on board with like the name change, following along, really like understanding like what's good with this. So no doubt this like was on point for theme, and like even more importantly, like super easy to like understand the vision, and like where Jordan and SLM truthfully were coming from. You know what I mean? It was almost like, again, like a new leaf. It just felt refreshing. So I definitely think this one is like a perfect way to like reintroduce yourself but keep it all the same. Like this was genius. Really genius. So with that said, huge shout out to Jordan Andrew, aka SLM. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud in their brand new account. Literally 6 follows away from 20. Excellent milestone. And of course, make sure you follow them on the Bird app. Literally 4 follows away from 330. Go show us some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subaroonies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. underground tips and tricks, full podcast episodes, Music Mondays exclusives, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So if you haven't checked out the channel, definitely go show the channel some love. And if you already have, drop comments, drop likes, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, and thank you, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, let's continue on. I believe we have one more Patreon for the night. I think it's Mark is up next. Yep. We got the homie Mark up next, baby. Okay, so, let's see what we got here, chat. Because Mark has been on a roll in terms of really coming really crazy with everything. Lyrics, delivery, instrumental choice, mixes. Like, Mark has been doing a really stellar job in 2023 in terms of like improving their craft. So I'm definitely excited. They submitted a track titled Contemplating. And I'm curious of what this cover looks like up close. Okay, so we got some exclusive unreleased King Mark here. Let's fucking get it, baby. So this one definitely took like a different approach in terms of like kind of like mixing like the IRL and like the graphic side of things, and it's not too much. I feel like sometimes if you go this route, it can be like really like overbearing, to be honest with you. Like, it can definitely like become it's like an eyesore, but I think this one in particular, I think does really well. And then like with the filter on it, I definitely think this one is like A1. Definitely. So cover's on point. 23 hours ago. So we got the brand new treatment here. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Exclusive unreleased King Mark Contemplating. Let's get into it.
Can you call me back, please? She said she loved me because I live important. I try to tell her that it's not important to me. She said she loved the way that I'm recording. She said she can't read into her performance. I can't stop you falling in love again. We talk through all the shit inside your head. I can't break through every single line you mention. I was fucking bad, it would end up suffering. I can't talk too much 'cause they fucking hate me. I'm off all these drugs 'cause that shit's a thing. I can't stay too long, I'm tired of waiting. Why my face too strong, and now I'm contemplating. She said she loved me 'cause I live important. I try to tell her that it's not important to me. She said she loved the way that I'm recording. She said she can't read
apparently you
into
blocked my
her
number, which is fine.
I can't stop you falling in love again.
I can't believe this cadence. Wow.
I don't know. Can you get voice messages from blocked numbers?
Bro, that might be one of the greatest King Mark flows we've heard this year. It's gotta be. That's not even a question. Actually, that's kind of crazy. What the fuck? I don't know what you did here differently, Mark, but holy shit. Not my best work, but it's a vibe. What the fuck? I think it's the flow and cadence, because the writing is very much King Mark writing, and it's good writing, but the instrumental mixed with the flow and cadence is like, wow, what the fuck? Okay, we gotta break this one down. All right, let's talk about it. We're talking about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Contemplating. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix, solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. I like the drum selection a lot. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. I definitely feel like this prod did a good job when it comes to like leveling shit out and kind of like having like a decent mix. So in terms of the instrumental, solid for sure. Um, I want to say the drums is the shining star, but the melody kind of brings a lot of the emotion here when it comes to the instrumental. So probably the melody, to be honest with you. I feel like the melody is like wow. Yeah, melody for sure, definitely. Okay. So instrumental solid, melody's definitely the shining star. It just brings a lot of that emotion. And then let's talk vocals because vocals are very important. Um, really the star of this track, 100%. So, man, we have a bit of a different style of a King Mark mix. It's not different in terms of like we haven't heard it, but Mark tends to like flip the scale in terms of like what they would really like want their mix to sound like. So this one definitely brings a little bit more of a pitch vibe, and I think this track works really well with it. But in terms of the mix, I think it's great. Nothing clashing to overbearing, and I definitely think these vocals sit like really solid on this instrumental. Just because everything like punches through nicely, and like everything's kind of like it just feels level. It definitely just feels level for sure. So mix is great when it comes to vocals. The Shining Star. I don't know what the fuck is the difference. Like, we've heard flows like this before, and we've definitely heard writing similar to this. And I don't know what it is. I can't put my tongue on it, but something about this just leveled the fuck up. And I keep going and leaning towards like the flow and cadence. Like the flow and cadence was so like one of those tracks like you can't like not like bop your head. I don't know what it was, but Mark, like this was insane. Like if you keep practicing this kind of flow and like keep doing tracks like this, you're gonna come so like hard into your style. It's crazy. Like it's really crazy. This one just kind of like shows the future. I feel like this is like one of your more like well constructed like you could show this to anybody and they could get behind it even if they don't like that like genre of music, like they can still like appreciate like the lyrics and like the whole like the actual fact that you can like ride the beat like this. Like this one stands out for sure. Definitely fucking stands out. Like 100%. So vocals definitely flow and cadence. Not even a question flow and cadence. Mark just seemed like really comfortable on this. So that's why. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. I already gave some thoughts on this. Like I said, if you go overboard with these graphics, it can look kind of like overdone and like sometimes like that vaporwave shit can look really cool, and then sometimes it can just look like not that cool. But I like what Mark did here. It's not too much. I feel like this was like if you were gonna do it, this is how you do it. You know what I mean? So well done. And then you slap the King Mark colors on here, and it looks excellent. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme. Contemplating. I mean, it's kind of in the lyrics, but it's almost deeper because like we've all been there kind of like contemplating waiting on somebody or waiting for somebody or somebody waiting for you, right? Like even if you haven't had this feeling, you definitely know somebody who does, or maybe you're on the other end of the stick where you, like you know somebody's contemplating on what to do with your relationship with them. You know what I mean? So I feel like again, like Mark is like a really like a veteran when it comes to describing feelings but not needing a million fucking words. And that's hard. That's hard to do. Like that is fucking hard to like cuz like at face value you kind of like see simple lyrics, but underneath the hood you can like think and take this a whole like a lot of different ways. And I think that's what's really important about this. And Mark does that song after song after song as to where you take like a bar or even just a verse and you're like, hmm. And then you're like, wow, I know what that yeah, complications and simplicity. 100%. 100%. Like and I think it's great to like have intricate words and like really like crazy ways of saying things. But at the same time, I think this holds just as much value if you can like say what you're feeling with like minimal words and it's not just like bullshit. So I feel like Mark really hit the nail on the head when it comes to like really writing in general, but songs like this that kind of like spark the imagination, if you will, and you can just kind of take it how you want it, and then it does what it does for Mark as an artist. So this is again what music is really all about. You know what I mean? Like I think shit like this is so cool, and like it's just becoming more and more comfortable for Mark, and you can tell in each song it's just becoming more and more comfortable. So that's what I like about this a lot. So let's fucking get it. With that said, huge shout out to King Mark, my friends. Make sure you go follow Mark on SoundCloud, literally 3 away from 180, and of course make sure you follow Mark on Twitter, literally 6 away from 300. Those are 2 good milestones, man. Go show Mark some dab love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subaroonies on there. I think we're about 6 away, my friends. So huge shout out to all of our recent subs. Huge shout out to everybody that already is subbed. You guys are amazing. Let's fucking get it. And of course, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So if you haven't checked out the channel, please do so. And if you'd like to do so, please subscribe. And go show these artists some love, man. Because they deserve it. So, I believe that is the last of our Patreons. Let me double check and make sure nobody got left behind. Now we're Gucci, my friends. Okay. So, let's head through the rest of our community submissions. Much love, brother. Let's fucking get it, baby. Thank you for your submission, my friend. We'll be talking soon, for sure. So, that does it for the Music Mondays Patreon. Huge shout out to Blank Thought, SLM, and King Mark. So, diving into our community submissions, up next we got the homie Ghost Candy, aka Candy Ghost. Now this is a very, very fucking talented producer that has been submitting to the Music Mondays podcast since I think pre-episode 50. Ghost Candy has been around for quite a while. Quite a fucking while. A true Music Mondays OG right here that submits every once in a while. You know, Ghost Candy was submitting when we had like 2 submissions, bro. Like 2 submissions, I'm telling you, bro. So real one right here for sure. Super cool. But again, very talented alternative producer. They submitted a track titled Special Feeling. 12 days ago. So literally less than 2 weeks. Very fucking fresh. Let's hop right into it. Ghost Candy, Special Feeling. His caption was, "This is gonna make you dance." Okay. This is heat. Yeah. Hmm. Damn. This is fucking heat. Hmm. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay. Literally the caption under the submission. This finna make you dance. Ghost was not lying. Ghost was not lying. One of those feel good kind of tracks, man. Such a vibe. It makes being a producer worth it because people put that shit in playlists all the time and they love shit like this, but it's gotta be original, it's gotta be a bop, it's gotta be nice, you know what I mean? Like, gotta be shit you fuck with as an artist, right? But this was great. And coming from a prod, I wish more prods would do shit like this and just kind of like come up with their own themes and projects and concepts. And Ghost has always been one of those prods for me, man. Totally in their own lane and totally treat themselves like an artist, even though they're not a vocalist. You know what I mean? More producers definitely need to do that. So huge shout out to all the ones that do. Kale, Little Caesar, so many other prods that just really work their ass off and don't really care too much about placements and shit like that. So huge shout out to you guys. But with that said, let's break this down. So obviously no vocals in terms of lyrics, but we're gonna talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme. So let's get into it. Let's talk instrumental. So I believe this is a yeah. So Special Feeling used the same kind of cover. Okay. So Special Feeling I assume was probably supposed to be a part of this EP. Ghost just hadn't put it in the playlist yet. But yeah. Wow, okay. So let's talk instrumental. Mix is fucking great. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I love the mix a lot, especially in terms of like giving the vocal sample some room, letting the drums kind of knock. Nothing was really kind of fighting for space. That's what I mean by clashing. It didn't sound like anything was like again fighting for space or to fucking breathe. Everything kind of had its own space and was really really solid when it comes to the mix. Super crispy. Everything cuts through nicely as well. So mix is solid for sure. But I'm trying to think of the shining star because I love this fucking structure. I love the way the vocal sample was utilized and the drums are so bouncy. So bouncy. So the patterns in general are really good, but I think the thing that meant the most to me, because this song clocks in at 4 minutes, I think the structure was most important here, and I think Ghost did an excellent job and went above and beyond to make this track attractive and non repetitive, but it still like has a flow and it has like it feels familiar, but for an instrumental track, it always is on the move. And I think structure has a major part to do with that. So structure was just amazing here, especially again clocking in at 4:11. Like I think the structure was perfect for sure. So the instrumental is great, definitely the structure. Let's talk theme. So again, this was a full EP that Ghost put out, I believe, about a month ago, and this just wasn't added in the playlist, but I did notice that Ghost used the same cover. But again, I was a huge fan of this cover when we first reacted to this, and I still am a huge fan of this cover. Simple, has like meaning. It gives that like old movie kind of instrumental feel. And the text kind of like sends it over the edge for me. So I think Ghost did a really good job when it comes to that art, for sure. Um, Especially in terms of like an EP, you know, I definitely think Ghost did a really good job. So aesthetics on point, special feeling. Now, special feeling definitely gives the element of like this song is special. It has like a nightclub kind of vibe where like you're just having a good time. You get that special feeling. It's a Saturday night. You're out late. You're grooving. You're vibing. So in that aspect, I definitely resonated with it, and it definitely felt like a little bit like that for me as well. But yeah, special feeling. I definitely feel like was a pretty accurate description of how this made me feel. You know what I mean? It was just a good vibe, but it wasn't like too much, right? I definitely feel like this was a perfect like house club kind of song. 100%, 100%. So huge shout out to Ghost Candy. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Ghost on SoundCloud. Literally 20 away from 100 or 10 away from 90. Go show Ghost some love. And of course, make sure you follow Ghost on Twitter. Literally 10 away, bro. 10 away. 10 away from 30 followers. Go show Ghost Candy some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 sub-earnings on the main channel. I think we're about 6 away. So go show the channel and these artists some love. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks. A whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So if you enjoy, definitely go show the channel and these artists some love. And if you already have been showing the channel some love, we appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Thank you, my friends. So we are about halfway through our submissions tonight. So with that said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we're going to go through the rest of our community submissions. I'm going to need all of you to get up, go take a quick break, go get a drink, go get a snack, go get whatever you need to get. Music Mondays will be right back with episode 128. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast. I hope you're chilling. Hope you had a good break. But we're gonna hop right back into the rest of our community submissions, my friends. So, without further ado, we left off with the homie Ghost Candy, and up next we got the homie Patterns, aka Lil Wet Wet, and they submitted their a brand new track. A super talented alternative artist. Let's see what we have in store. Let's pick SoundCloud. Wait, pause. Okay. So we got Bedhead on here as well. Lots of love in the comments. Wet Wet on the cover art. Rodlando. Okay. See what we got here, chat. Lil Wet Wet. Brand new. With Bedhead. Let's get into it.
I don't trust Lando.
What the fuck? That was mesmerizing. If there's one word that I had to pick for that, it would definitely be mesmerizing. That song will definitely put you in a trance, man, like for sure. Holy shit. All right. Let's definitely break this one down. So, we're going to talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of this new Lil Wet Wet track. So, man, oh man, oh man. Let's talk instrumental. So, instrumental is a huge part of this track. Not to say it's like the major, focusing point, but it's a big, big deal. So in terms of, you know, the mix, it might be one of my all-time favorite like styles of mixing. Like this producer definitely has like such a knack for their drums in particular. Their drums are really well mixed and everything is just layered so nicely and vocals cut through, drums cut through, like everything is like really leveled and perfect. Nothing's clashing too overbearing. So I'm a huge fan of this instrumental mix for sure. Shining Star, this instrumental is 100% the drums. More specifically, the drum selection. I feel like everything kind of works really well together when it comes to the drums. Yeah, yeah, drums totally stuck out to me. But this prod did a really good job, and I just like the instrumental choice to begin with. Um, so yeah, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals here because I think both Bedhead and Wet Wet fucking destroyed this. So it's kind of hard to like pick one soul kind of thing. But one thing I feel like they both had a common ground on was flow and cadence. Their flow and cadence on this was excellent. It felt like a true duo. Those kind of like OG rap tracks where like people like trade verses back and forth, and it's just like a couple bars here, and the other person gets a couple bars, and then the next person gets a couple bars. Like that's kind of like what this reminded me of. And these two just work so well together in general. So I'd like to see more in this style. I definitely like this back and forth kind of like almost it's almost like just a ping pong, you know what I mean? Back and forth, and they're almost trading the verse, you know what I mean? Like here, let me kill this. Okay, you kill this. Okay, let me kill this. Like I think that shit's sick. So definitely flow and cadence, and they just kind of flow effortlessly together for sure. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid. Both of you killed it as far as writing, but definitely the shining star's got to be flow and cadence for sure. Um, so let's talk theme. Um, I know the aesthetics and the overall promo that Wet Wet did for this was really cool. As far as like having it be a secret and like you don't know the song name and just like pre-save the secret song. So I feel like this kind of theme here was super simple but very effective and kind of salutes the whole process of actually coming out with like a secret kind of track. So I'm a huge fan of this, and I definitely think Wet Wet really hit the nail on the head when it comes to like being accurate with the aesthetics for sure. So definitely valid cover in my book. I like the choice. It definitely fits. Overall theme, these two kind of had a lyrical showdown. Usually their themes are very much like sometimes they stand out, and then sometimes they're like very much take what you can get from it. And when it comes to this track, um, I just feel like the other parts of a theme were kind of there, right? Like the promo, the mystery track, and the fact that these two just kind of like almost like just traded verses and just went verse for verse, and like I said, it was almost like a showcase of lyricism. And the flow and cadence was like the first like notable thing, you know what I mean? So I feel like when it comes to like a theme, they were definitely on point. Cause like I said earlier, a theme doesn't necessarily need to be like all written in the lyrics and it needs to mean something. The theme just kind of like whether like does the song make sense to you? You know what I mean? And this one definitely like made sense to me, especially with the pre-promo and kind of like how the cover worked out and kind of how it is now on like the first listen. Definitely nailed it in terms of the theme for sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Lil Wet Wet. Make sure you go show Lil Wet Wet some love on SoundCloud. 9 followers away from 600. That is a great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow Patterns on Twitter. Literally, again, 9 away from 350. A great milestone. Go show Patterns some love on the bird, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 sub-earnings on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Friday, or every Thursday and Saturday, my bad. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. And if you already have been showing these artists in the channel some love, thank you. And we see you dropping likes, dropping comments, and even if you're just viewing the videos, we really appreciate you. Thank you for showing your support to Music Mondays. So, let's get it, baby. Huge shout out to Patterns, aka Lil Wet Wet. Thank you for your submission, my friend. Up next, we got the homie Braden. And Braden has been just had a stellar 2023, putting out track after track. The consistency has been something I've noticed, that's for sure. Very talented alternative vocalist submitted a track titled Shut My Mouth. Let's see what we got here. So, let's see. I believe this one made the most recent edition of SoundCloud Sunday as well. So let's see what we got here. I'm definitely excited to dive in. Braden, Shut My Mouth. Let's go.
Be so dramatic.
Now I'm doing drugs in the bathroom. Hope that love isn't permanent like a tattoo. I don't wanna call you out, I can't be that dude. I wanna be alone. Why you treat me so differently when nobody's around? Why do you treat me like trash? Why are you putting me down? Maybe I should be quiet, maybe I shouldn't make a sound. But if I'm being honest, I couldn't be here without you. Maybe I'm being too loud. Maybe I should shut my mouth. You say you feel so proud while it's all going south. I don't like my face. You said we should go our separate ways, but now you're at my place. Even though I said I needed space, I don't understand what you mean. You wanna break, but you wanna be with me. This shit don't make sense. No, I don't wanna be your friend. Why you treat me so differently when nobody's around? Why do you treat me like trash? Why are you putting me down? Maybe I should be quiet, maybe I shouldn't make a sound. But if I'm being honest, I couldn't be here without you. Maybe I'm being too loud. Maybe I should shut my mouth. You say you feel so proud while it's all going south.
Damn. That was fire. That was fucking fire. I love this. I think this is top 3 Braden tracks for me for sure. This was fucking amazing. The simplicity of it, the honesty, the emotion, the writing, it was all there for me for sure. Well fucking done, my friend. So, let's break this one down. We're gonna talk about 3 things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Shut My Mouth. So let's talk instrumental. Very bare bones instrumental. Of course, just an acoustic riff, and it's a very emotional one at that. But let's talk mix. The melody sounds great. I think this guitar was mixed to a fucking T for sure. Vocals sit very nicely. Neither of them are clashing or fighting for space. I like the mix a lot. Yeah, no, I have no gripes with this mix as far as the instrumental goes whatsoever. I think it was a great emotional kind of riff to choose, and it wasn't like overly sad, but it definitely hit that like sad emotional mark for sure for me personally. So the instrumental was stellar. A Shining Star, man. Man, Shining Star for this one's gonna be tough because the whole like melody is like nailing it on the emotion scale, but the mix is there too. So I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and say the mix just because it is one solo instrument, so you're probably more likely to fine tune that mix more. So the fact that this mix kind of came out very like crisp is all the better. So definitely the mix in terms of the instrumental. So the instrumental solid, definitely the mix is the shining star. Let's talk vocals. So vocals here is kind of interesting. So again, let's talk mix. Nothing clashing to overbearing. The melody sits real nice. It cuts through nice. Vocals sit nice. No gripes with the vocal mix whatsoever. Again, I definitely think Braden has it on lock in terms of how they like their vocals mixed and really what their goal is in terms of like how they want to sound. So the vocal mix is really there for me, for sure. So vocal mix is great, but Shining Star when it comes to the vocals, man, I love the delivery and the flow and cadence, but the writing is right fucking behind it. The writing is so honest and so like true. Um, man, I love the delivery though, man. I really do. I really love the delivery. I don't know. It's a writing is there too though. Yeah, probably flow and cadence and delivery. Because we know Braden's a good writer, but it's all on improving like your emotion and like how you deliver that writing. And Braden just gets better and better and better. So it's got to be flow and cadence and delivery for sure, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely in the mix. Vocals are great, definitely flow and cadence. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. You guys know the drill with Braden. If you don't, if you're new here, Braden has one of the most consistent aesthetics in terms of their cover art, but they don't necessarily need to be like that. I just noticed that Braden kind of took a liking to certain cover styles and really chose to stick with it. You know what I mean? That's all preference. That's not really like, oh, you need to be doing that. You know what I mean? There's no rules to that. But I do like Braden's style when it comes to aesthetics. So again, Braden kind of nailed it when it comes to um keeping their aesthetics consistent. So I like this choice a lot in terms of art for sure. Um, Overall theme is a very complex one, but if you know this kind of situation, you'll definitely resonate with the song a lot more. People will enjoy this for the melodical elements just because it has a good flow and cadence. Um, but for the ones that'll like resonate with the lyrics as well, I definitely think this will be one to hit home. Very important topic of kind of like having a lot of love for somebody that doesn't like show you the proper amount of love that you deserve. And feeling like maybe you should just be like, fuck it, like, why do I even care? Why should I care about somebody that treats me like shit? So, I definitely think Braden hit the nail on the head when it comes to bringing out those emotions, and this is a perfect song for it. So, well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Braden. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you follow Braden on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. Literally 3 away from 30. A great milestone. Go show Braden some love on the bird app, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays podcast if you haven't already. We're about 6 subs away from 190 on the main channel. Go show the Music Mondays channel some love, my friends. And of course, we upload every Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you go check out the channel. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the Music Mondays channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you already have been showing the channel some love, we appreciate you. And thank you, my friends. So, up next would be Blank Thought and SLM, but we had already reacted to them because they are Music Mondays Patreons. So make sure you go show them some love. And if you're interested in getting your submissions played first each week, we react to all of our Patreons submissions first. So make sure you go check out our Patreon. King Mark would be following that as well, but Mark is also a Music Mondays Patreon. So make sure you go show Mark some love. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays Patreon if you have not already. Man, oh man. So, 2 more submissions for the night, my friends. Up next, we got the homie, Lil Olipop. And it's been a couple weeks since we heard from Ollie. I know Ollie has made it on a couple of SoundCloud Sundays, but a very talented alternative producer, vocalist, jack of all trades, truly, to be honest with you. A multi-talented artist, definitely. But they submitted a track titled You Remind Me of Somebody I Used to Know. So, let's pop this open in a new tab and see what we got here, chat. Wow, this art is crazy. What a good picture. So we got some self-prod, Lil Olipop. You remind me of somebody I used to know. Let's get into it.
What do you want me to do? You just want me to hit you? Come on. Do me this one favor. Why? Why? I don't know why. I don't know. Never been in a fight. You? No, but that's a good thing. No, it is not. How much can you know about yourself? You've never been in a fight. I don't want to die.
This shit goes hard.
You remind me of somebody that I used to know. And my shawty looking good when she all in my clothes. Head down, nails did, and she painted toes. I'm addicted to her love like I might overdose. Fool me once, fool me twice, baby, shame on me. And my heart is all booked up, there ain't no vacancy. There ain't no changing me, so I'ma stay the same. I heard they hate on us, we'll charge it to the game. Okay, do it for the most high. MacBook on my arm, and you know that shit no surprise. 950 Taliban, in my room trying to count these bags. No, I'm embarrassing, but can we dance, just take my hand. PBR and foreign cars, kissing in the dark. Remember skating through the rain, but now I push the start. I remember crashing whips I should've put in park. And nowadays I'm making songs to fix my broken heart. Me and my bitch, we stuck together, can't pull us apart. I put my walls up, armored up like Tony Stark. Yeah, this my legacy, I'm just trying to leave a mark. I'm just another God's boy who can play guitar. You remind me of somebody that I used to know. And my shawty looking good when she all in my clothes. Head down, nails did, and she painted toes. I'm addicted to her love like I might overdose. All black now, trying to cop a black car. I'm trying to make a couple million off this laptop. Don't need no new friends, left them in the past. I'm trying to cry myself a river with these teardrops. Build a bridge, get over it or drop off. I would trade in everything for a drop top. Don't know what happened, lately ain't been active. It is what it is and the past is the past shit. I'm smoking on Zao, smoking on Russ, smoking on Campus. Feel like a matador, I'm dodging all the bullshit. She think I'm mad at her, but I've never been more in love. I would take this any day over the boring love. You remind me of somebody that I used to know. And my shawty looking good when she all in my clothes. Head done, nails did, and she painted toes. I'm addicted to her love like I might overdose.
Damn! Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Wow. This one's kind of interesting. This one is definitely fucking interesting. Okay. So, let's break this one down, chat. A couple things to talk about here. And you'll probably hear some fireworks in the background as well. Happy 4th of July. To those of you that you know, are kind of out there getting turned, you know what I'm saying? So man, oh man. This track is very interesting, chat. Very, very interesting. So, we're gonna talk about a couple things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of the track. So, I definitely think Ollie did a really, really good job when it comes to reconstructing this for sure. But let's talk instrumental. So, it's tagged kind of like a hyperpop / plug. So Ollie definitely did a good job in terms of like keeping the mix really like tight and like pretty crisp, not letting things get really drowned out or anything like that. Really letting the drums continue to knock as well. So yeah, I definitely enjoy the mix in terms of the instrumental for sure. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything sits real nice. Shining Star, probably the structure. I do like the mix a lot, but the structure is just really there for me 100%. So yeah, instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to vocals here, this is kind of something where it's very interesting. So the mix is great. Again, kind of took like the hyperpop approach. So you gotta, pay a little bit more attention to the mix than you would for like other things. Most definitely. So mix is solid, nothing clashing to overbearing. I definitely feel like the drums cut through nicely, without a doubt. Yeah, no, the mix is solid. No gripes with the mix at all. Shining Star when it comes to vocals, it just might be the mix, to be honest. I would like to hear the original too. Of like where Ollie started with this, or even like get like a I actually have a couple ideas, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, this is definitely one of those like you'd love to see it like deconstructed kind of tracks for sure. But I do enjoy the mix a lot, especially for like how crazy these kind of songs can get. You gotta appreciate the mix. You gotta appreciate the mix for sure. So definitely the mix, 100%. Um, so instrumental on point, definitely structure, vocals on point, definitely the mix. Um, let's talk theme. So aesthetic choice is really crazy, like really really fucking crazy. Simple but really effective. I like the color palette. I like the whole old school art style look here for sure. I like this choice a lot. It definitely brings the kind of feeling that this song leaves you with for sure. So I definitely think this is a solid choice. Um, Overall theme, there's a couple of ways you could break this down, but again, I definitely feel like Ollie nailed the theme aspects outside of lyrics. Because like I was saying, like not every theme needs to be like totally broken down by lyrics. Like themes can be from aesthetics to how the song just makes you feel and how those two things kind of relate to each other. So I definitely feel like Ollie like nailed this when it comes to like putting out a track that like feels consistent, you know what I mean? From cover to track title to how the song makes you feel sonically. So I definitely feel like Ollie did a really, really good job on this. So with that said, huge shout out to Ollie Pop. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Make sure you go follow Ollie on SoundCloud, literally 10 away from 530. And of course, make sure you follow Ollie on Twitter, literally 4 away from 1.3, a great milestone on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And make sure you're subscribed to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you're not already. We're approaching 190 sub-earnings on there. I believe we're about 6 subscribers away. I think we're at 184. So consider subscribing if you haven't already, my friends. And for those of you that have, thank you for the love. We upload every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the main channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. So, last but not least, the homie, Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring Mysterious, a multi-talented artist from production to filming to editing to creative visions to graphic design to writing. Again, if there's anything you take from Offspring during any of their submissions, it's the fact that they are very passionate and a one-man army, quite literally. So if you want something done, Offspring proves it's possible. But they submitted another edition of Music Art, Walking Onslaught's Interlude. First of the month already? Yep. First of the month already, my friends. So let's see what we got here. Another edition of Music Art. Clocking in a minute 23. Let's see what we got from the homie Offspring, man. Wait, no. Let's pause that. Wait, is this brand new? Oh, no. 4 months ago. Holy shit. So it's definitely not new. But, it's definitely not super old either. So Offspring really went ahead and recorded, like, so many of these. And really just flooded. I love that. Aw, shit. Uh. Fucking swag. Yup. Shit. Holy fuck. Bro, these are gas. These are always fucking gas. Alright, so let's pop open the track and see. So, this is definitely a rather older Offspring Mysterious track for sure. While Offspring went back and started making music art these short, pretty much promotional clips with concepts from Walking Onslaughts and Offspring's pretty much own written universe. Like, this is a whole gem right here. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about music art in itself. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental is something else for sure. So mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Melody kind of cuts through nicely. The drums kind of do their thing for sure. Overall, a very level and like solid mix for sure. Yeah, no gripes with it. No gripes with it at all. Definitely level for sure. Shining Star, when it comes to the instrumental though, I love the drums. The drums kept up that bounce 100%. The melody brings that like house kind of dance vibe slightly. But the drums definitely put it over the top for me and kind of gave it that dance, like real good bounce that it needed. And even more importantly, the drum selection itself was really good on that track. So definitely drums for sure. So let's talk Walking Onslaught. This edition of music art is for the Walking Onslaught's interlude, and you can see the progression with more like recent Offspring videos and how much Offspring really went and filmed and edited over the course of like the beginning of 2023. Like, Offspring really went to town when it comes to putting their foot down and like really getting a bunch of these done for a lot of their older tracks and really just giving a reason to actually fucking promote them. So I think that's fucking amazing. And this one in particular shows like how easy it is, but on top of it, like how much work Offspring really has put in for these. Like this one in 4 months ago, the song's 4 years, but now you're finally catching up with visuals. You're finally doing this whole like library recap for all these new supporters that may or may not have heard anything from your library. You know what I mean? And then you're reconstructing clips and you're reusing old footage. So this one definitely brings out like the proof that Offspring has really put in a lot of fucking work. But this one in particular just gives a good laugh, and it's a little bit on the shorter side too. So you could even do TikTok, YouTube Shorts, things like that if you wanted to. But I definitely feel like Offspring did a really good job when it comes to like making this one short and sweet, but the transitions and like really like like the laughs and like really like putting together the stories, like the fun part about a lot of these music arts. But this one in particular just shows progress and shows how much Offspring has come compared to their more recent content, right? So well fucking done, my friend. I cannot wait to keep reacting to these, and I'm sure there's a lot more. Offspring recently had a birthday video that was fucking insane, so I'm definitely excited to see where Offspring goes next. But with that said, huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Offspring's YouTube channel. Offspring's literally 2 away from 110, man. Go show Offspring some love, man. Shit. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. Literally 8 followers away from 840. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subroonies. I believe we're about 6 away. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love, my friends. And we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. So that does it for this week's submissions on episode 128 of the Music Mondays podcast, my friends. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted, tuned in, showed love. We got a couple announcements here at the end of the show. A couple things to really discuss. We're gonna give everybody some shout outs here in a second. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons as well. Huge shout out to Blank Thought, SLM, aka Jordan Andrew, and King Mark for submitting tonight. And if you're interested in becoming a Music Mondays Patreon, the link is down below, and of course, always in our bio. And of course, huge shout out to everybody that came through and hung out in chat. Huge shout out to Mark and everybody else that lurked and chilled. You guys are amazing. Much coming this week, my friends. A lot of really good stuff coming this week, if I'm being completely honest with you. Weekly content will continue. Our monthly content will absolutely continue. We have a whole lot of really good stuff for the community that we're working on. So just sit tight and, you know, once we have it fully ready for you guys, you'll be fully like, you know, you'll be ready. You'll be absolutely ready. You know, because there's no point in executing a lot of these ideas if they're not ready. So yeah, I'll be working with the staff closely this week to kind of bring you guys some updates, but our weekly and monthly content will be staying the same. We'll absolutely pretty much be continuing all the pieces that you guys know and love here now. And of course, we'll be continuing a lot of newer announcements relatively soon. So expect In Case You Missed It monthly and your usual weekly content to continue. Submissions will open for episode 129 tomorrow, so make sure you're following All Music Mondays on Twitter. Basically, follow us on all socials, and all of your updates will be there as well. But if you're interested in submitting for next week, submissions open tomorrow. If you're interested in submitting for the Music Mondays SoundCloud Sunday playlist, submissions open every Wednesday. So about 2 days from now, if you're watching on YouTube, submissions have already opened, so definitely go drop your links. And of course, make sure you follow us at All Music Mondays on all platforms. And with that said, make sure you follow us at Anchor.fm. Go stream the Music Mondays podcast wherever you can. We're trying to reach 100 monthlies on there, man, so we can get some ambassador ads. So if you're a person who listens to the podcast on the go, we love you. And if you're interested in listening to the Music Mondays podcast on the go, we're available on all platforms: Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. So definitely go check us out in the link down below, Anchor.fm/All Music Mondays. Like I said, make sure you follow All Music Mondays on Twitter and pretty much everywhere else you use social media. And you can follow me at ZomSlays. And per usual, I'm live about 6 days a week, so make sure you follow the channel. We'll be live tomorrow, and of course, we'll be live with episode 129 of the Music Mondays podcast very soon. So stay tuned, be safe. It's been ZomSlays, it's been Music Mondays, and we'll see you next week for episode 129. Take care, be safe, and I love you guys.